Right, here we are, where I've managed to, two things, the planets have aligned, right, and two things have come into play where we're lucky enough to grab Phil Kelly, amazing human performance coach, for an hour, 2 hours of chatting away, all right? So, and then this video is, I'm going to give you some of the big nuggets, okay? The two things are, first and foremost, Phil had nothing better to do on a Monday. The second thing that's aligned is I've been cheeky enough to ask him, but you don't get this time with Phil usually without paying a decent bit of money or having some serious consequences on the line.
So you're not paying me for this? Is that what
no, taxi! No, but so yeah, we're just going to have a little bit of a natter and kind of see where it's going.
My first question for you, though, is how would you summarise 2019 for yourself?
2019, I think 2019 flew by so quick, and I heard the other day that someone sort of said that if the years fly by, it means you're not as present as you should be. Right. And I think I spent a lot of time, kind of going through the motions a little bit, and I had a couple of events that I definitely went through the motions with. But 2019 is marred for me a little bit because I went out to Kenya. Things didn't go to plan in Kenya, and it really hit me hard. What fell out from that was like, I've got to stop playing. If I'm going to do ultra runs and if I'm going to do challenges like this, or even taking your business to the next level, I need to sort of double down on the stuff that has an effect, And with regards to my running, I started running a lot more, but classic. If I was doing not enough, I bounced all the way to doing way too much, and then picked up niggles and injuries, which until only recently I thought this could be it. This could be get these challenges out of the way, and I'll have to be a cyclist or something like that, which scares me.
So there's a couple of things in there. Can you elaborate on? You talked about dabbling and playing about with, and so that to me comes across as if you want to take it a little bit more serious, if you like, and can you expand on that? And also, there was a couple of other events you were talking about. You went through the motions. So if we went back to them first, what's that mean in terms of you went through the motions?
I just didn't prepare well enough. I paid it lip service. I kind of, throughout my whole life, I've had this thing where I've kind of surprised everybody, including myself. You know what I mean, with my performance. Or not bad for a fat lad. When I was growing up, or he can run well for a rugby player. And I went and did the MDS. We spoke. We had a couple of sessions like this before the MDS, and it was like, well, I've not really done enough. What can I concentrate on? And I did well there, and I did well on other events. And I just thought that would always get me through, and I'd just be able to grizz it and using mental toughness just get through. But at some point, physiology actually takes a hold, and physics. There's the law of physics. At some point, you're going to try and bend that law, and it's not going to give because it is a law. And it caught me out. And what I'm saying by I need to be serious about this is I need to prepare better, and all these things that I do, it's about every bit of it is like a part of personal discovery. Well, I'm selling myself short if I've not prepared to the best of my ability, because what I'm testing is a half-arsed Craig, not a fully fit, fully prepared, as much as I could be in that moment in time.
Sounds a little bit like your outcomes. You want the outcome to be different, but correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm going to make a statement to sort of poke you, if you like. Is before it was about just finishing. Now you want more.
Yeah, because I finished when it was just finish. I finished really well, and what I want now is how well could it be? You know what I mean? How good could it be?
Yeah.
There's a big difference, isn't there, from like not dropping out to doing really well, and it's that forward edge of the bracket that I want to kind of explore a little bit.
Yeah, it's surviving versus thriving, isn't it? Where
yeah.
I think the years we've known each other, you've always wanted to be the underdog and prove people wrong, but not just prove people wrong by finishing it, I'll overachieve. But I think sometimes when you set your bar quite low, you will always overachieve because of the person you are and you know your mental toughness anyway, but that'll only get you so far, and then you've got to allow science and planning to kick in. Do you feel a little bit like you've blagged it a little bit in terms of, you know, yeah, I've done a little bit and then I've just finished it? So with that, what I mean is, like the MDS, for example, like, you know, Marathon des Sables, ridiculous amount of distance over set periods of time. No doubt it was difficult, and I've seen all the pictures and that, whatever, but do you feel like you just got through it, or did you actually get that sense of achievement at the end?
I definitely got a sense of achievement, because I remember having like tears and on the finish line and all that, you know, so I definitely felt a sense of achievement. I don't know, I'd probably have to give that a bit of thought, like, you know.
Well, a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the hardest thing you've ever done in your life, like limit, where was the MDS then in your school?
At the time, it was an 8 or 9.
Why not a 10?
Because I've been tested. There was a couple of moments in the MDS when I thought this is hard, but then, you know, it's one of those things where not only have you got like how intense something is, there's also, how can I like give her for instance, but it was a grind, you know what I mean, the MDS, it was like a grind, whereas if I look at the Peru, there was a moment in Peru where I was like, we're going to fucking die.
Oh, okay,
you know what I mean? And
yeah.
it's the impact of the moment, and you can have like something that just lasts a long time. The real tough time in the MDS, well, the initial sort of really hard time was the first leg, where I was just going way too fast, you know, and that was hard. And then after that, it was a case of just keep going, and that's what I would say. You know, it doesn't have to be quick, and it doesn't have to be pretty. It just needs to be done, you know. And it was one step in front of the other. And it was a case of just working through it, whereas I've done stuff now which was in the moment physically hard, you know. Yeah, there was a moment on the in Peru where it was literally like if I don't either move, sitting still, I would have probably passed out, like, you know what I mean, because I was in such a state, and moving was almost just as hard, you know. So that was like the impact of that was far greater, and getting through that, you know.
Yeah, so what would it take to describe a 10 then? What would that be like? Have you ever experienced a 10 from your perception?
No, I don't think I've ever.
Okay, so Peru the hardest thing, and what would you score that, or is it Kenya, or things you've done in the past? What's the hard? Let's ask a different question. What's the hardest thing you've ever done?
Day 4, the lull, which is a stage on the Jungle Ultra, and ironically it's one of the shortest stages in any multi-day ultra, but it is fucking revolting.
So what makes it so difficult?
The terrain is really tough. There's lots of elevation. Obviously you're fatigued from 3 days running before. You're under the canopy in the jungle, and it's just so humid. And if you're not conditioned to it and you're not fit, it will catch you out, you know. And I think the fact that it's so short adds to it, because you sat, it's only a short one, I'll fly through it, you know. But it was really hard. I remember the last part of it, you've got like 5k to do, but you climb 1,000 meters in that 5k. Well, after going through the jungle, it's really tough, you know. And then the weather kicks in as well, and you're slipping about and can't get a proper foothold. It made it really hard. Like.
So which bit do you find hardest? Is it the physical or the mental side of it?
Physical.
Okay.
The mental side, I mean, I ask questions, but the questions I ask in those moments is like, you know, why have you done this again? You know what I mean? You know,
do you always know the answer when you ask yourself that question?
No, I don't know. I usually sort of think, you know, and you ask yourself why are you doing it? you know, and what you're getting from it, and do you even like running?
And what's it feel like when you haven't got the answer then? Is it, because what I mean is sometimes if you understand your why, it gives you the drive, the purpose to keep going. Or is it a case of because you don't know the why, it gives you something to think about and concentrate on in the moment? Or is it more of a distraction?
I think it's more of a distraction, because if it was to say, you know, why do you do these events? Fundamentally, there's probably some subconscious stuff going on, but the answers I come up with is, one is to inspire other people, because I take a lot from standing and going, look, I don't train, and I go and do these events, you know, and all right, I've got a bit of history, and I'm probably confident in my own abilities, and I can turn myself around at the end of each day, but I'm still nowhere near where I should be, really, to take on these events and finish where I finish. So there's that, and then the other one is the experience. I know that, you know, it's not about, you know, if I'm spending 10 grand a year on events, that would get me something pretty nice, like, you know, but I don't. I spend it because it's the experience that I want. You know, I want, in Peru, I wanted the environment of the jungle. I go to the Arctic. It's the Arctic experience that I want to experience.
So the Arctic's obviously the next one up is in 6 weeks' time. Yeah. Okay. So if you don't always know what your why is, you know, your purpose for doing it, what do you get out of it then? What makes you keep coming back, going again?
I think the biggest drive for me is there's certain pretty much every aspect of my life, I've never truly taken it till its full potential.
Right. Okay.
The Marines, never took that to its full potential because, you know, I booted out. And the pattern is everybody was going, oh, you're going to be, you know, you're going to have an incredible career, blah blah blah, and I didn't. I went on selection and never took that through to its full, you know, as far as I could have gone. First time round, I picked up an injury and I couldn't carry on. I was due to go back, but then I left. You know, came out of the Marines, out of the forces, and then a couple of businesses that I started, I've never taken them through to its thing. So these are like, I don't know, a bit of a proving thing, really, you know, as to like, where am I going to end up, you know?
To whom?
Well, I say to myself, but if I was to create a picture of that, it's other people looking at me, and how would I know I've achieved it? Well, people going, fucking hell, he's good. You know, he's done good, or he's a success, whatever that means. Or, you know what I mean? It's so therefore, I suppose it's my perception of
their perception of you.
Yeah, my perception of their perception of me.
Yeah.
You know. And
when you're thinking of those people, do you have people in mind?
I don't have anyone in mind really. I suppose just the whole world, the collective. But there are a couple of people that have wrote me off, like, you know, rightly or wrongly, you know, because we've all got skeletons in our closets and stuff, and you know, and I know I've pissed people off, and I've probably let people down, and rightly or wrongly they've gone, fuck him, you know, and a lot of it is like, right, well, I'll prove to you the calibre of person I am, or who I am as a person. So, but no, yeah, no one. It's not like the cliche would be your mum, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? Like my mum, my dad, my brother, you know, significant other or whatever. No, it's just people.
When you joined the Marines, what was your reason for joining the Marines?
Because I didn't make it as a rugby player. Okay. Well, no, I was never going to make it as a rugby player. I wasn't fast enough, I wasn't strong enough, I wasn't skilled. I was a late comer to rugby league, really, and I had a half chance. Did you get close then? I tasted it. You know, my friends were signing full-time contracts around me. You know what I mean? And then, as things went on, pretty much everyone that was ever going to make it had got a contract and either moved on or had moved on to the first team, whatever. And I'm like, I'm still here, like, you know. And about that time, I did the old survey at school. You know, what you're going to do, what you're going to be, and the Marines came top. And I'd always liked the idea of being in the military. being outdoors and all that, and this come out, and I thought, oh yeah. I looked into like the green berry and the ethos and all that, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to give this a crack. I went just after I turned 16, and unbeknown to me, the careers office was like that, sent me away. So we're going to talk to your mum. You need the permission from your mum before we can recruit you. And unbeknown to me, as I was travelling home, the careers office phoned home and spoke to me and said, look, this lad's, he's got a chance, he might make it rugby, he's got a chance of doing A-levels, he's very young, so let's get him do his A-levels, play out his rugby, see what happens with that, and then if none of that comes off, then tell him to come back at like 18, and so that's kind of what I did. I did a half-assed, there's another one, a half-assed attempt at my A-levels. Did just enough to scrape a couple of passes, on the A-levels, and then it was obvious that I wasn't going to make it at that. School was coming to the end. I knew I didn't want to go to university, so it was like, right, I'm going to sit and join the military. And I was dead keen on it then. So at 17 and a half, joined the Marines.
When you didn't make it as a rugby player, was that your first proper experience of failure?
No. A different level. I think what happened to me was as a young 14-year-old kid. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I got involved with a mature woman. Yeah, she was definitely like my first love. It was the first time a woman had ever showed interest in me, and we were together for nearly a year. And on Christmas Day, I just knew there was something wrong. I known there was something wrong for weeks. So on Christmas Day, I said, look, what is happening with us? Like, we're done, aren't we? You don't love me, do you? And she was like, no, I was going to tell you after Christmas, but we're talking about it now. We might as well tackle it now. So she booted me out, and I'd left home against my mum's wishes. But I'd left home to move in with her, and I was trying to support her and a baby on my milk round money. But she kicked me out on Christmas Day, and that, if I was to say, where's your biggest failure? That was it, like, at a very impressionable age, really. And
yeah, understandably. So what were your main learning points then, reflecting back now? What was your main learning points you took from that? I don't think I've ever learnt anything from it. I mean, when I was doing when I was going through some counselling, it came up a lot, And actually, when I talked about it and kind of realised it and processed it, a lot of things that I'd kind of struggled with in the past had dropped away. Just fell away, and I was like, all right, done. Crack on. And I don't really know what I learned from it. I know it created some beliefs. Okay.
Yeah, some.
What, positive or negative ones?
Yeah, negative beliefs.
What would you label them as?
I can't trust women. I'm on my own.
Yeah.
If anyone's going to do this, I'm going to sort it out.
Right, so a bit of independence there then. So
a bit of that, but also a bit of don't know what the belief would be, but like I was definitely nervous around women after that. You know what I mean? Or I wouldn't chase women. I had my heart broken, like, really, at a young age, and I was just like, I don't think I want to go through that again. So I never really chased women.
Is there anyone, so in terms of like control then, and sort of, I don't like to use power, but I will. But in terms of that power dynamic shift, was it one of your learnings that I'm not going to make myself vulnerable because I'm going to take control of the situation and I'll decide?
Yeah, I think what I always, from there, I always tried to please, you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
And then, but it always seemed to be at my expense. you know. And I was like, when things started to change for me in my life was when I started being a little bit more assertive, and Paula would say I've gone a little bit too far the other way, you know what I mean, where I'm a little bit too assertive now. But
when you say assertive, is that assertive all the time or on times?
no, I'm pretty, well, what I say and what other people would tell you might be two different things, but I think I'm fair enough and I'll give enough, but then when I start to think, no, enough's enough, then I'm like, no, I'm doing
Check
it more,
it.
do it yourself,
Yeah.
you know. And I think a lot of it is, the way I do it is like, no, you've got to fucking get through, you know, it's determination, it's grit, you've got to get fucking through it, you know, you've got to sort it out.
Bloody
I'm not going to
mindless,
make this easier for you,
Yeah.
you know, you need to step up and which is kind of how I tackle the events and that, you know. So yeah, this is going deep, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. You said I'd ask the questions. You said it. You say what you want. Can I ask you a direct question? Are you scared of success?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
It's quite emphatic answer.
Yeah, and I didn't expect that question at all, but it's something that I've bounced around for a long time. I think I have a link between a lack of a loss of freedom at the cost of success.
Yeah.
So, for example, you know, obviously you sort of think, right, well, let's look at financial success. How does that come about? Well, you know, you get paid on the value you provide, who you're providing value to, clients. So the more success I have, the more clients I've got to have. I don't want clients because I don't want the conflict and all that. Therefore, I don't want success because I don't want the landmines, which are clients, you know.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I'm doing a lot of videos now is because it's a one-way thing. All right, there's a few comments at the end of the video, but it's a one. You know, I'm talking to the camera, to the viewers, the listeners and all that, and there's nothing coming back, like, you know.
So fast forward a long time, and it might sound a bit out there, but you know, towards the end of your days, what's Craig got to have to look back and think I've been a success?
I know this.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Okay. I know this, and I have a very clear picture in my mind of, I've got some people call it a man cave, a room, an office or whatever, and you know, my grandkids want to come and speak to Grandad because they walk in and they go, "What's this, Grandad?" "Oh, that's my commendation from sniping in the Marines." "What's this?" "Oh, that's the medal I won when I ran across the Sahara." "Oh, what's this?" You know what I mean? And they're just like, wow, you know, I want a life full like that. And you know, what's this? "Oh, it's my snowshoes from the Arctic." "What happened there?" "Oh, I ran across the Arctic and, you know, I fought a bloody polar bear," or whatever, you know what I mean? And I have this very clear vision of my family and people, as you know, as well, saying what an incredible person, like, you know, he's gone and done all these things, and that's that.
So that's many years down the line. What do you feel people talk about you like now then? What do they say about Craig Williams in 2020?
2020? I don't know. I think there's a mixed bag. I think some people will be. I think some people will be like, yeah, you know, he's done well. He's come from a long way. You know, he was rock bottom for a bit, and he's come a long way since then. And yeah, some people would say definitely a success. I mean, someone said to me the other day, and it was just a comment in passing, and they were talking about stuff, and he said, "Well, you're all right, 'cause you're fucking loaded." And I was like, "Wait, I can assure you, I'm not fucking loaded." But I understood what he was saying and the thing, and then and there's definitely people that say amazing story, you know, it's amazing what you do. And I had a guy last night who's Special Forces, won the Military Cross, and he said, "I want to be doing what you're doing." And so I know there's people out there going, "Wow, amazing," you know, and I know, and don't know. And I do wonder if there's still people out there going, well, what knobhead, you know, threw it all away, you know. I don't know.
So you talked about wanting to inspire other people and for others to come on the journey, and I know it's already started because people I know have signed up to run some of the marathons with you. So if people have listened to our chat, and that's all it's been, is a chat and a conversation really about where you're at and where you want to go, and naturally we dragged out a little bit of the past. But if they feel a little bit inspired, if you were to look down the barrel of the camera right now, what would your message to them be?
I think I'd say, like, you know, imagine some point in the future you look back and think, you know, maybe I could have given it a go, maybe I could have done some of these events, and imagine just not knowing, like, and just getting to the end of your life and just going, what if, you know, and or what could it have been, like me with some aspects of my career and the things I've done in the past, like, you know, forever with some of those things I will never know what could be, and for whatever reason. So what I would say is there is a whole side of you that you will not discover until you start pushing yourself or putting yourself in places where it's fucking hard, you know, and it's challenging. So this is an opportunity for everybody just to get involved and to find a new side of you, and who knows where it'll go. You might never run again ever in your life, but then you might, or you might go on and do other stuff. And how many times do you hear of Sally from down the road rowing across the Atlantic? You know, it happens. People just have these crazy ideas, and that's inside every one of us. And sometimes people just need a bit of permission, or need the hand holding or whatever, and that's what we're trying to.
Yeah, and opportunity is a big one, isn't it? And I think what certainly the people I know that have signed up for are looking forward to is the fact that there's no pressure, it's not a race.
Yeah.
And, you know, whether they take 5 hours or 15 hours, they're part of that journey, they're part of something bigger, rather than, you know, that fear of competing against somebody else and worrying about the times or being last. That's all the negative things they play around in their mind. That everything's about positivity with this, you know, just filling the world with positivity, raising some good money for charity as well, and just positively influence each other. But all the best with everything on me, and we'll see you up to you soon, all right?
Thank you very much. Yeah.